take us back through how this initiative started and who are involved here. How did you manage to arrive to this, develop the system that you are talking about, and you are about to launch this system?
Yes, thank you very much. That's a very important question. We started back in 2016 when South Sudan joined the East African Community, and we were not part. Before, there was a project that was supporting the modernization of the national payment system of national banks of partner states, where South Sudan was not part of it. But now when we were part of the East African Community, the project now was supporting Bank of South Sudan to modernize its national payment system, which was not there. So in 2019, there was a tripartite agreement that was signed between the African Development Bank, East African Community, and the Bank of South Sudan through the Ministry of Finance, of course. So when that tripartite agreement was signed, it was well stipulated. These parties, they have different role to play in the implementation of the modernization of the national payment system. That is the African Development Bank as a grantor of the project, the EAC to execute the project on behalf of Bank of South Sudan, and then the Bank of South Sudan as the executor of the activities of the project. So how we started is, you very well know, our central bank is a branch of Bank of Sudan, and a lot of functions did not exist, including national payment system by then. So what we did and what we proposed to the project team at the EAC was, first thing we did was to institute what is called institutional capacity assessment. That is now how to establish the department, to have a function and so. So what we started to propose to the East African community through AFDB was now to tell them that it is time for us to have a function. That is the institutional capacity assessment. So a consultant was procured to look into what are some of the gaps, why there's no department in place to run the functions of the modernization of the national payment system. So the EAC procured a consultant, that was in 2019 to 2020, and the activity was delivered, where the department was established in 2022 is when now National Payment System Department came to life, and it was approved by the Board of Directors of the Bank of South Sudan. So that was the time when the department was established. Not to stop there, there are a lot of components that are around the modernization of the national payment system. What were those some of the components? Number one component we looked at was the vision and the strategy. What kind of payment system do we need to have as a country, as a South Sudan? What kind of payment system space we should be going through? So the vision and the strategy, we were also supported by the same project, that's African Development Bank, executed by the EAC, and then of course we were facilitating the running of the activities of the project. So the vision and the strategy was drafted by the consultant in coordination with the department. Of course, already the department was running, so it was very easy now to go around approaching different stakeholders in the market, including Minister of Finance, to look into what are some of the vision around the payment space that we'll be having. So the vision and the strategy, of course, during that period, we had COVID, and COVID, people were not traveling, so it was very difficult for the consultant to travel to the country. So the vision did not capture the context of South Sudan. So we said, no, this should not stop us, but also let us not launch it. Until today, the vision was not launched because the reason being because it did not capture. Most of the meetings to different stakeholders were done virtually with different stakeholders. And our context, we still have issues of infrastructure, like that's the internet. And some people were not, especially our key stakeholders, were not accessing internet just to connect with the consultant. So we just say, let's leave this vision and strategy for further review when COVID comes to an end. So this vision is still pending, but it is from that vision where we are today. We did not stop there. There's a lot of activities need to be done around the modernization of the national payment system, where you need to enable the environment, you need to level the playing field, where now people, fintechs and those who are involved in the payment space should really be playing. That was not the end. There was one very important element that we also looked at. That is the legal and regulatory framework for the national payment system. So the same project through AFDB and executed by the EAC was able also to look at the legal and regulatory framework, and we came up with a term of reference where now we send it out so that different consultants apply across the world. But you know, payment system law is not learned at the university because it's a new phenomenon in the market. So what we did was we had to advertise it internationally, and of course international consultant applied, and indeed we got an American guy who developed the national payment system legal and regulatory framework. So as we speak now, we have the National Payment System Act. It is still a draft. We did present it a year ago to Executive Committee of the Bank of South Sudan and to the Board of Directors. And of course, Board of Directors approved to be sent to Minister of Justice, and we sent it. But as we speak, it is still pending with Minister of Justice, awaiting to be shared with the legislatures where now it can be enacted by the President. That does not stop us to move forward and also go live with the system that we are looking at. So we came up with so many regulations that will be signed by our Honorable Governor as circulars to guide the implementation and also the operation of the system. So that was the other component. The last component that drove us to where now we'll launch the national payment system, South Sudan interbank payment integrated system, is the consultant that was to develop the system specification. After having looked at all these components, it was right time now to look at a technical consultant who will look at the specification, what type of system will need to have. So through the same project, that is the from AFDB and the EAC, we applied, and of course they supported us to procure a technical consultant. We were lucky; he's an old man, and that was his last consultancy. So he designed for us a state-of-the-art system through that support from African Development Bank, a system called ATS Plus. ATS Plus, it is automatic transfer system. It is a state-of-the-art. It's a new system. It is not existing in so many countries. It is only in 2 countries, and then we will be the 3rd country that will adopt this state-of-the-art system called ATS Plus, automated transfer system, and I will explain later on what the plus mean. It is only in Somalia and in Congo, and then we are the 3rd country that will adopt the ATS Plus. The plus is a new component called instant fund transfer. It acts like a switch. Of course, we will not implement it. We will not go live with that now, but as time comes, also our market, our market expand, we will be in position also to implement the IFT. So having all looked at this is what has led us to announcement of the going live of the South Sudan interbank payment and settlement system. So after having completed the system specification, the consultant recommended that we need to get a vendor that will provide the infrastructure. And indeed, through the same project, it was paid for by African Development Bank. We were able to procure a vendor through competitive bidding worldwide. There are basically 2 international companies that provide RTGS, real-time gross settlement, in the world. There's one called CMA that is based in Russia. There's Montran that's based in Romania. So basically, these are the 2 providers in the world who provide the RTGS. But we chose the Montran Corporation to provide for us because they met our specification, what we really want the system to do for us as a country. So Montran has been running since 2023 until today. They're still developing, but we are at the last stage now to roll out the South Sudan interbank payment and settlement.